When I first met David, I had no idea he was bisexual. Honestly, I didn't even question it as we started dating. Maybe I was at fault for not being curious. It wasn't until after his proposal and our marriage registration that he finally told me.
So, I've got something to tell you. I'm bisexual and I have a grown daughter.
His sudden confession still shocks me to this day. We had already filled the marriage papers, set the date for the wedding, and met each other's families. But he'd been keeping something so important from me all that time. I was in a panic. Still, after a lot of thinking, I decided to stay with him. My name is Natasha Bradshaw, 44 years old, a surgeon. I balance my work life by going to the gym near the station for some stress relief. I met David 3 years ago when I was 41. I remember that day so clearly. I was at the gym, about to use the treadmill as usual, when I noticed a man frantically searching for something. What's wrong? I was curious, so I stopped my workout and asked him.
I lost my wallet. I'm pretty sure I dropped it somewhere around here, but I can't find it.
That's awful. Let me help you look for it. After just a few minutes of searching together, we found the wallet.
Thank you so much. To thank you, would you like to grab something to eat?
I was hungry, so I accepted his offer. That's how our relationship began. As we got to know each other, I learned that he was 2 years older than me. We started dating, and everything seemed to be going well. A year into our relationship, when I was 42, David proposed to me. I had been so focused on my career that I thought I might miss a chance to get married. Of course, I said yes. I was filled with happiness and excitement for our future together. We went to the city office to submit our marriage registration, met each other's families, and began planning the wedding. Everything was going perfectly until one day, David dropped a bombshell. He was acting strangely that day, so I asked him what was wrong. What's going on?
Well, there's something important I haven't told you yet. The truth is, I'm bisexual and I have a 21-year-old daughter.
I was speechless.
Her name's Mia. She's living on her own now.
I was in shock, but I eventually pulled myself together enough to ask the obvious question. Why didn't you tell me this before?
I was scared you'd leave me if you knew, but now that we're married, I thought it was safe to tell you.
I couldn't believe how selfish and irresponsible his thinking was. Still, I realized I should have been more prepared. At my age, it wasn't unrealistic for him to have been married before, but finding out after filing the marriage papers, that was something else. Fine. It's complicated, but we're already married, so I'll deal with it. I didn't want to get divorced so soon after tying the knot, and I didn't hate David. Besides, Mia was already independent, so I figured it wouldn't affect us too much. So I let it go and moved forward with our wedding. But Mia didn't come to the ceremony, which I found odd. A year into our marriage, I still hadn't met her. Then one day, while David was at work and I was off, the doorbell rang. I opened the door cautiously, leaving the chain on, and saw a man in a flashy suit.
Is this David Bradshaw's place?
Yes, it is. Who are you? His tone and appearance made me uneasy, but I wanted to find out who he was.
Is Mia Bradshaw here?
No, she doesn't live here.
I see. Is David home?
No, he's at work.
I see. Well, I'll just cut to the chase. Mia owes us a lot of money.
What? She's in debt?
Yeah, she's borrowed a hefty sum, but she hasn't made any payments in months. We're here to collect. She still owes us $15,000, and David is her guarantor.
My jaw dropped. $15,000?
Yup, and since David's her guarantor, we need him to pay up if Mia can't.
Well, like I said, he's at work.
Are you sure Mia's not here? She's his daughter, right?
I've never even met her. She's not here. The man gave me his business card with a creepy smile.
Well, when David gets home, tell him to give us a call. Oh, and you might want to ask him to pay up soon.
I nodded, but inside I was anxious. What if this guy kept showing up at our house? I couldn't risk my valuables being taken if David couldn't pay. Wait, I'll pay the remaining $15,000 today. That'll settle everything, right?
Sure, here's the payment information. Thanks for cooperating.
Once he was gone, I sighed in relief, but my anger simmered. How could David not have told me about this? 5 hours later, David came home from his job at the factory, acting like nothing was wrong. David, we need to talk. His face immediately darkened when he saw how upset I was. I told him about the debt collector.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was going to handle it quietly.
Handle it? You were hiding it. How could you do that?
I was trying to pay it off without you finding out. I was checking the mail every day to intercept the letters.
You were throwing them away? If you were serious about paying it back, you wouldn't have hidden it from me. David continued to make excuses, trying to justify his actions.
I thought I could handle it, but then...
Wait, what did you just say?
I lost my job 2 months ago.
I was furious. Why didn't you tell me you lost your job?
I didn't want to get yelled at.
You're not a child. How can you hide something so important from me? This isn't the first time you've kept things from me. He fell silent, looking like he was about to cry. I took a deep breath. I had paid off Mia's debt, but I wasn't going to let it go easily. I paid the $15,000, so you need to pay me back.
I don't have the money.
That's not my problem. You better figure it out. He muttered under his breath, unable to respond. I felt like I had to dig deeper. What else are you hiding? David's eyes darted nervously.
I lost the rest of our savings at the casino.
What? How could you do that?
I thought I could win it back. We had $10,000 saved up, but it wasn't enough to cover Mia's debt. So I started going to the casino, thinking I could make up the difference. At first, I won big. I thought I had it all figured out, but then I kept going back, and eventually I lost everything.
You thought gambling would solve your problems? You lost all of our savings trying to gamble your way out of debt?
It's gone.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I had been working hard as a surgeon, saving money, and meanwhile David was losing it all at the casino.
I didn't know what else to do. I thought I could fix it. I'm sorry.
You're sorry? Sorry doesn't bring back the money you've lost. How could you come home today pretending like everything was fine? Do you even care that you've ruined us financially?
I don't know what to say.
You have nothing to say because you know this is your fault. You've been lying to me this whole time. You've been keeping secrets and now we're in this mess.
I'll make it right. I'll find a way to fix it.
I'm done listening to your excuses. I covered your daughter's debt with my savings, but I'm not covering for you anymore. You need to pay me back.
I don't have the money.
Then find a way. I don't care how long it takes. He slumped down, defeated. I had had enough. I wasn't going to let him drag me down any further. That night, I made up my mind. This marriage wasn't worth saving. The next morning, I packed my things and left. I checked into a hotel, feeling a strange sense of relief. I finally felt free. A month later, I moved into a new place. It was a beautiful house, far away from the mess that had been my life with David. I had plenty of savings left, and I decided to buy a home for myself. The process of house hunting kept me busy, and I felt good about focusing on my future again. Then one day I got a call from David.
Natasha, please, can we talk?
No, I don't want to talk.
Please, I'm begging you. I'm struggling without you. I don't have a place to live, and I don't know what to do.
That's not my problem anymore.
But I need you. We were good together once.
I'm not coming back, David. I bought a house. I've moved on.
You bought a house? With what money?
I have my own savings, money I earned. And no, you're not getting any of it.
That's not fair. You should give me some of it. I'm entitled to part of that money.
No, you're not. I earned that money before we were married. Legally, you have no claim to it.
But you have so much. You could help me. Mia needs help too. She's in even more debt now, and we can't afford to pay it back.
That's not my concern. You and Mia made your choices.
Please, Natasha, help us.
I'm not your bank, David. Figure it out yourselves. There was a long pause on the phone. I could hear someone talking in the background. Who's there with you?
Mia wants to talk to you.
Hello? How can you just leave us like this? You're supposed to be a doctor, aren't you? Doctors help people. I'm in a tough spot right now, and you have the money to help. You're in this situation because of your own decisions. I warned you. But that's not fair. You're living a good life while we're struggling. Life's not fair. You had plenty of chances to get your act together. Now you're paying the price. I can't believe you're doing this to us. You're heartless. I'm not responsible for fixing your life. Goodbye, Mia. I hung up the phone, feeling no regret. From that moment on, I had no more contact with David or Mia. I was finally free to live my life the way I wanted. Today, I'm starting a new chapter. I've transferred to the emergency medicine department, something I've always wanted to do. The days will be long and exhausting, but they will be fulfilling. And for the first time in a long time, I'm looking forward to the future.